smash it over their heads, and bam, they did.
Bruh, it just depends the situation. Bro, if you on a battlefield, that is not doing nothing. This Fortnite, give me a quad launcher. Give me four of them joints right over here. Boom, boom, boom. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Buff City Central, the hardest podcast in the city. You know what I'm saying? We claiming it now before it's critically acclaimed. You feel me? So we got, y'all already know, man, Joesph Brown,
Xavier Lamar,
Dorian Winthrow.
And you know, we back, man. We back. We hope y'all enjoyed that last episode, but we got more to come for sure. And you know, leave any comments to what y'all want us to talk about, any topics. Y'all want any type of relationship advice or anything, you know, email us. Actually, hit our pages, DM our pages, or hit the comment section. Instagram, Buff City Central Pod. Facebook, Buff City Pod. And then, TikTok, Buff City Central Pod too, for sure. But look, though, let's get straight into it, man. What's going on with Russia?
What's going on? We all know it's been the hot topic of the week, Russia invading Ukraine, and there's just so much that is like happening like every single day.
Every day something new come out. Every day something new comes out for sure.
No, it's every single hour there's something new going on.
Definitely,
with this story.
Definitely.
So we're at a point now where we all know Russia launched lots of drone strikes and really a full-scale invasion on Ukraine. A lot of people are fleeing, leaving homes.
So, all right, before we even get into like this specific point, like today, how did this happen? From like what you know.
All right, so basically, like this conflict with Russia and Ukraine, like it's been low-key happening for years, but like it's never really got like to this point, which is strange. Now Putin.
But wait, my question is though, you saying this happened for years?
Well, no. Like,
weren't they
mean,
part
like,
of the SSR?
Huh?
Isn't Ukraine part of the SSR though?
Oh, you talk about the Soviet Union?
Yeah.
Now, see, here's the thing. It used to be a part, like back in the 90s when they were like when the Soviets, they were all like what's what I was trying to say? They were all united. So, but once like the Soviet Union fell, then of course they all became their like independent countries. But Vladimir Putin, he has desires like to try in some shape or form like reunite the Soviet Union, basically.
Right.
So he originally, like what some people thought, they were just going to take over like some territories in Ukraine that's really not a part of Ukraine, but technically still is a part of Ukraine.
But that's not what they were.
Nah, they launched a full invasion. Of course, they trying to really like build back.
So the goal is to get the territory of Ukraine, the whole country,
basically
the whole country. But Putin, okay, let me ask y'all this question: Is Putin attempting genocide?
No, he's
on the Ukrainian
not attempting
people.
genocide. What he's doing is he's trying to take. It's a land grab, and we see that. We hear from a bunch of reports that Ukraine is fighting pretty well. You know, like they're putting up a pretty good fight, and I think the reason for Russia not taking it so much sooner as they could have is because they're throwing in like the weak cavalry, right? You know, the people to go in.
But you're saying no, but I disagree with that though, and I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like he is. Because, he's launching missiles, right? He's launching missiles at hospitals, orphanages, and just like regular people, you know? And it gets to a point where how many people got to die? How many people got to get hurt? Didn't they only save like 15 babies from the hospital or something like that? That's crazy.
Now, here's the thing. Technically, it's not considered genocide by definition because he ain't like deliberately like going after people, like breaking into homes, killing people, like he's purposely like intentionally trying to like kill like Ukrainian civilians. Basically, he's just trying to like just weaken its infrastructure. Basically, just so when they like do the invasion or take over Ukraine, they want to make sure the country like they're trying to weaken the country so they can like really do have a full like takeover.
Right, but I seen the video because you sent, if y'all don't really know, but we have a group chat and we be talking or like that, and so you sent a video of Biden and whatever talking, and then earlier in the video they were saying how Putin basically he's putting his soldiers around the areas with nukes and with nuclear weapons or whatever like that. So will this become nuclear? Do you think, or no?
I can't give you a full, like, confident answer on that.
Why not?
Because this whole situation, it could really go one or two ways. Like, we don't. Usually, I'm going to keep it real. When it comes to, like, to U.S. and wars, I feel like it's all up to the U.S. I feel like, for the most part, the United States are aggressors.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, no matter where we are, especially in the Middle East and some parts of Africa and Latin America, like, we are the ones who usually be aggressors, and there's just a lot of things that we engage in that we shouldn't be really getting into.
But is this one of them? Because we are a part of NATO. So
yeah. Now, however, in this situation, it's not so much the United States, because Vladimir Putin, you have to understand, he's also, like, dangerous. He, like, the same thing with the U.S. trying to, like, invade country. Russia, like, does the same, too. So, it's, when you're dealing with two nuclear powers, I'm like, man, it could really go one or two ways.
Yeah, I think with, like, us getting involved, we're a superpower. Like, so is Russia.
right.
And I think that's we also had a pandemic. On top of that, war isn't helping anybody.
Yeah.
It isn't benefiting, so it's like we're going to crush, like, our economy and our people, send our brothers to war and all that.
It's conflicting because, like, you as a country, you can't just go around. You can't, like, invade, like, a sovereign country. Like,
you can't just take another country.
Yeah.
Like,
now, don't get me wrong. Like, now the United
Putin
States
thinks he can, so.
But now the United States, we low key hypocrites because we low key, like, do the same.
We did stay Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but I will say that like, you can't. It's not like you could really ignore the situation. Like, if the United States was literally, like, do absolutely nothing, like, you're talking about people who are, like, going to have their freedoms, who are a lot of people going to be killed, like, and like Putin, it seems like he's trying to, like, I won't say world domination, but, like, trying to just, like, reconquer, like, an old empire.
Now let's say world domination, and I'm gonna say why. Who says that he stops at Ukraine? Because look, just hear me out. Didn't he say at first he wasn't even gonna invade Ukraine or something like that? He, like,
basically,
right. What can you say exactly what he said so I don't mix it up?
Wait, Putin?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have an exact quote, but
Well, he did refuse. I mean, like,
because in the beginning he said he wasn't
gonna.
Yeah, of course he wasn't gonna.
Ukraine.
He said he wasn't gonna,
and it was just like, when they were having their peace talks, but their meetings and Sweden, I think
it was more like he was looking at areas like just a small parts of Ukraine, the independent regions that actually supported, like, becoming a part of Russia, but that he backed away from his word on that.
So I'm saying, like, okay, we go to war. Let's just worst case scenario, we go to war with Russia and things like that. It's gonna be bad in the terms of people will die, but I'm confident that the U.S. is coming out on top, because I just feel like they do have oil, they do have the oil, and they definitely can put a dent in us by withholding that, but we have a lot of resources connected to us, not even just directly from us, that if we cut off.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The problem with the United States is because we've been putting sanctions. We haven't done no actual military aggressions towards Russia yet. We've just been putting heavy sanctions trying to rally the world. But now Russia is, like, feeling like, scared and, like, probably
like we they ops.
Retaliate. Yeah, basically. So, what was I about to say? Yeah, so Russia, like, if we were to go into a war, like, what you have to understand is that the United States, we are a very dependent country, honestly.
Right.
Like, how much of our products made in China and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And here's the problem. Russia have close ties with China.
Right.
So they're more like allies and stuff like that. So that's the dangers of getting into a war. Now, here's the thing: we don't know exactly how it may play out. Maybe, hopefully, if it's just U.S. and Russia, but it's very likely when you like have world unity, like there are going to be different sides that are going to be picked. So,
no, I don't think that U.S. and Russia will go to war for a couple of reasons.
mm-hmm.
Now it's the threat of each other, right?
Yeah.
Just merely that.
Bro,
Putin's
afraid, bro.
Vladimir, he attacked Ukraine because he found it the most ideal.
Yeah.
And like it was just set to go. Like we can do this.
Right.
And I mean, they're like Germany's stepping up its military defenses, and it's like other countries in NATO are like hitting sanctions on Russia, and I think that Russia getting hit with such heavy sanctions, like the citizens are kind of like fighting back too.
They're getting mad.
In the United States, what I like the type of sanctions Biden doing. Like, you can't do sanctions that will hurt, like, regular Russian civilians. At the end of the day, they just regular people. Remember, most of them, well, I don't know, most of them.
Well, it takes their economy.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, most of them aren't really making the decisions of Putin.
Yeah, I know, because, like, this is really the Russian government.
Right.
And the best thing about the Biden sanctions, that they are targeting Putin and his billionaire allies. So all the like economic like pressures and stuff like that is going to be hit on them, not the regular people. So that's smart, and that could hopefully pressure like Russia.
I think it will hit the regular people.
It definitely will.
It'll attack the supplies that Russia needs from America.
Oh no, but they ain't gonna. Biden haven't hit sanctions that actually like.
So what? Okay, what sanctions has he hit? What sanctions has he put out?
I don't know what the exact sanction is. All I know is that he just released like economic sanctions that's targeting like the markets of Russia. Now the market's interesting. It's not hurting like the regular people of Russia. They're only hurting like basically like only like the rich people, basically,
right?
In a sense.
But we're talking about war though. We're not mentioning, bro. If we go to war, it's not sticks and people going on the battlefield, bro. It's nuclear war, bro. It's not this is not 1900, 1850. It's not like that.
No, hopefully Zelensky, he's meeting with Putin, and there's actually some talk about some of the allies are trying to pressure Putin, ease off, because now like they starting to feel like the sanctions and stuff like that.
Bro, Putin said anybody who helps Ukraine will face consequences.
Well,
bro, that's fighting words.
I know. See, Putin, he
fighting words, bro. We gotta go for that.
He is starting to become a slight threat, but for now, this is still technically like a Ukrainian-Russian conflict. But at some point, it like with tensions keep on escalating, we could, like, God forbid, knock on wood, we could be potentially seeing an actual war.
But the thing about this type of war, which all war is bad, anyone dying is bad. Rest in peace to if you know anybody that's fallen, any veterans, whatever like that. But nuclear war doesn't just kill the people in the war, bro. It kills the land, bro. That kills everything. It kills the land and a big radius of the land too. So like, for years though, like. Lifetime, that land is gone because of this war, because it went nuclear.
The scariest thing there's weapons worse than nuclear weapons. I don't know if you ever heard of like nanobots, but they're like, okay, good. So like they like little bugs technology.
This is Big Hero 6.
No,
came to life.
No, I'm being for real though. Like,
I know exactly what those are.
Yeah, certain governments are like starting to like come up with it, and basically they could just get into. It's like basically
nanite tech. What is Iron Man coming up?
Actually, nah. This is like a genuine. You know how people say how COVID was created, like, and stuff. It's like a virus that's like militaries are generally create. They can like invade countries. Like it could just go into your body and like break down your organs. Like that damage your water supplies.
Bro,
that
war in 2022 is scary.
I know,
because it's real damage that can be done with the technology that we have. And I don't know, bro. But looks like Dorian, Might have to strap up for the country, bro.
Yeah, I think going back to what you were talking about, Joseph, like Russia spreading, I think like within 6 months, 6 months back, just about China was looking at Taiwan and doing the exact same thing, like building up the military and invading airspace, and I want to see what, and Russia being China's ally and China vice versa, I want to see what China will kind of do moving forward.
That's gonna be something crazy if
Actually,
we beef with Russia and China, bro.
China is likely probably Russia is probably relying on China for some secret deals, like when it comes to sanctions.
Right.
Because if Vladimir Putin, if he's still continuing with all the stuff he's doing despite the sanctions being like put on him and his like country, there has to be some like secret deals trying to like having like some type of reliance on China.
So we are cool with China though, right? Or no? What's the status?
It's like a neutral zone, honestly. Okay. Like we just don't. U.S. They obviously rely on each other for trade, right? But as far as having a military alliance and stuff like that, we're
right. Because is China in NATO or no?
No.
What countries are in NATO?
NATO is the United States and basically European countries, certain European,
like
European
England. I'm not sure of Germany.
I believe Germany's in there.
Okay, Canada, I have a question for y'all though. Mm-hmm. If we had a war, how would that affect you personally? You and us as just regular people, not even just the country.
Prices will go up. They will continue to go up. Gas prices will go up.
They've been going up for real.
And that's to do with the sanctions too. Right. Sanctions were meant to hit Russia, hit their pockets. It's also going to kick back to us, but our objective is to like minimize the kickback. More so hit Russia in terms of the money. So it's not going to get any better anytime soon. I think the sanctions kind of prolong that.
Yeah, because Russia is a huge oil supplier.
They are.
We're about to have some high prices for
a
minute.
So we can't drill oil in the U.S.? Is there a place that we drill oil from?
Well, I mean, I believe we do, but we just don't have. We don't have the resources to do it as what Russia and China has. And, it's funny you say that because the thing with the United States, Russia, and China, like, it is like just sad how our world leaders like try to like their whole mindset basically because they're trying to. It's basically they trying to become like the global leaders. Basically, they want to be. They basically want to be the number one. So they trying.
Everybody want to be number one.
Yeah, I know. But in order to do that, it's all about the oils. It's funny in Afghanistan, Russia. Oh, no, the United States. We mostly been in Afghanistan mostly to get their oil supply. Right. And Russia is trying to do the same as well. So this is really all like a geopolitical battle, like to be the number one. They want to be the number one on the world stage, but they're willing to do, and I'm saying like all three countries are willing to do like dangerous things to get there. When it comes to like just bombing countries, wars, genocide, it's a scary thought.
Yeah, I think Russia's not doing too good a job. I mean, I think the thing about the Russia-Ukraine war.
Wait. Too good a job in the sense of what? In the sense of taking over Ukraine?
He's just creating more problems for his own country, and his people are even having problems with him because they're going to get hit by the effects of the sanctions. I'm sure that many people from Russia have family and friends in Ukraine, back in vice versa.
And everybody in Ukraine just headed to Poland.
And they're worldwide. There are being protests, and people aren't happy. Vladimir is sending out, not him specifically, maybe, but people are going in mass numbers going to jail for speaking up or dying over there.
Yeah, that's the thing with Russia and
that's what a
they are huge, like authoritarian people. So you can't even like protesting on all that stuff. Like you're not even risking like jail time. You're risking your life.
Literally, though.
And the thing about Russia and maintaining that control and expanding is that Russia doesn't want democracy to spread, and Russia doesn't want any countries moving over to, the NATO
bro.
Alliances.
None of us have said it, bro, but Putin got a Hitler complex. Clearly, bro. Clearly.
I'm gonna be for real with you. I can't honestly say that yet. Hitler, he was he was more like he was a genuinely wanted world dominance. Like he wanted to take over the whole world. He wanted white what do you I ain't gonna mess with big words, but he just wanted a pure white state, no Jews, no black people. Like he wanted like to see.
I'm saying a Hitler
who wasn't like white. Basically.
I'm saying a Hitler complex in the sense of like thinking you can go take over what you feel like it just because it's a smaller amount of people, smaller piece of land. He got Ukraine surrounded. He moving in, bro. I wouldn't lie. It looked like Ukraine is about to be toast. Yeah. In the sense of, bro, it belonged to Russia. But I'm saying, like, okay, if he moves to other places, then we'll come back here and have a different conversation. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man.
Now, here's the funny thing, because remember, they about to meet the president of Ukraine and Putin. Now, that's going to be interesting if...
I definitely want to see how that goes.
It could potentially come to a scenario where... Because you have to understand, Ukraine, like... It's its own country, but at the same time, it's not like military equipped like as big guns. That, like
it's not a like really like what's the word? Not industrialized. It is industrialized, but like it's not as ahead of us like in that term, in that sense.
Yeah, they don't have like that type of money to really fight back against Russia.
Right.
But it may get to a point where they may have to like just surrender and probably work out some deal and. Hopefully, that's something at this point you would have to pray for, because if they work out a deal and there's a mutual agreement that Putin hopefully follows, then at that point there's not much you can do.
So the sanctions will be lifted at that point?
Like, honestly, you would have to lift the sanctions, to be honest. Because if you have Ukraine and Putin work out a genuine deal, then honestly, as long as he's not dropping trying to expand or still launching dropping bombs on different people and stuff, then hopefully that calm down tensions for now.
I wonder, the Ukrainian president, he feels strongly anti-Putin, but when they're supposed to meet, that's a place. It starts with a B. I forget, but they were supposed to meet where. In that area, they support Russia, and the president didn't want to meet there because of that, and that's that area,
which is understandable.
They're letting in troops into Ukraine.
Yeah. I just
that's kind of mixed messages when I hear about that, because the president is like, I don't want to meet, and then it's like Russia's trying to meet, and this is Vladimir, by the way, you know, so
he doesn't. But all right, you're not cool with somebody, right? Like you had an old. How do I put this in an example, bro? If you're not cool with somebody, why would you want to meet at their house? If y'all have to meet and talk about something, why would you want to meet in their playground, their place where their people are, and you don't have that home field, nothing.
I mean, it's gonna. Well,
it need to be neutral.
It has to come at a certain point where, when you're desperate, to get the situation, handled or calmed down, because we just don't want to be on the brink of another World War III. I could only imagine what the Ukrainian president going through right now, because he's got it's a lot to think about, because he's risking his own country, his own life,
and his people, man, the people of Ukraine, man. I really feel a way about that, man. We can't even imagine that life. You just waking up and you have to leave your home because you might die.
You want to know what's funny? I said this to my dad a couple years ago. You know how they have air shows where they have planes flying everywhere. It's funny. We wake up every day. We would see planes flying. And you know how we were little kids. We see a plane every year. We get all excited, see them going. In other countries, they see planes. They feel the need to get scared, hide under there, because you never know, they could potentially get bombed. And again, what you said, I really do feel sorry for the people of Ukraine. Anyone who is in that situation in the country, trying to flee their country. We praying for you. we just hope that you get to see a brighter day, hopefully soon. I believe that in the end, like, things work together for our good.
There were some wild examples. It was like I was listening to a reporter and he was talking to a Ukrainian English teacher, and he talked about how like the English teacher mentioned that if I had a knife, I would stab those Russian pigs, and and even like there was another one. There was like a soldier messaging his mother. And they were going back and forth a little bit, and he was like, mother was like, I know you're in training camp, and she wants to know what's going on. And then her son was later like, no, we're going to like a war, and like it's real, and people are throwing themselves in front of the vehicles and getting ran over to make sure that they don't get over the bridges and travel into Ukraine, and you see these examples like all over the place, even in the Middle East. People would, jump on a plane. That's taken off on the outside on a wing, bro, knowing they're gonna die. Like that's crazy.
I don't know. Like, I feel like that is like. I'm not saying blame the people, but it's like that's a suicide mission. Clearly, but you're not gonna just hang on to the side of the plane the whole time.
That's their behavior and action saying that even in jumping in front of the wheels in Ukraine, I would rather do this than deal with whatever I got.
Than Russian rule and tyranny.
Like, you have to understand.
And that's crazy.
Like, imagine like having like have your freedoms taken away from you, like your life being so restricted, like you being watched 24/7. That's something now.
Can't even say what you want. Tweet what you want. Nothing like that, bro.
I mean, like in the U.S., and I'll be honest here, this is just to go to show like the amount of problems we have in the U.S. Like there's some aspects that we have, like of course, like you know how we have certain freedoms restricted.
Yeah, we do have certain problems, but it's nothing on this level.
Yeah, I know.
In compared to this, our problems are more social. Like these type of problems don't really come to us just because like we're not really focused on taking any more territories. America is big enough. We got enough land, bro. Yeah. Russia's really big enough too. For real. Yeah.
It's not really taking over territories. It's more we're just trying to take resources. That's basically
that's what they want. They want resources from Ukraine.
Now, well, with Russia,
part of it.
Like, Russia, they want, yeah.
So that's what
for certain parts of Ukraine. But at this point, it looks like they want the.
Bro, they want the whole thing. They want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Bro, all I know is they don't come for us, bro. I feel like we got some secret nukes. A couple.
Well, Russia they still do got like more nukes than us.
They do?
Yeah. And
they got more missiles too or no?
Huh?
They got more missiles too or no?
Yeah, I don't know. As far as nuclear weapons, they have like more stockpile, but as far as like an overall military, like just use of force, like the U.S. is the most powerful in the world.
So in an economy standpoint, we go to war. Who can the test of time, bro? Not even just lives. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's a lot of people in the world.
Honestly, no one's going to win or be on top. You have to, all the nukes that are going to be flying, like the whole world, if you have a nuclear world, like it's basically the end of humanity at this point. We really going back to the like 1300s or like before like human era, basically.
I think we would be smart enough to avoid that. And even like for example, like Chernobyl when Russia was invading Ukraine, and that Chernobyl had that radioactive leak.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if it was like my knowledge about that, like 70s maybe, and it had spread all over Europe and people were getting sick and all that, and like they're smart enough, like there's a concern there not to like let's not bust through that concrete and spread this stuff. I think that we're knowledgeable enough to like know when to cut back.
Yeah.
But then again, when you have people like Vladimir who unpredictable and tell stories, we don't. It's hard to say.
Is the draft? This is more of a for us over here in America, but is the draft possible in 2022 to bring back?
I think it depends on how dire we have laws, but things always change. Right. I think it's possible. I mean, in Ukraine, they had the men stay and the women go. Well, depending on what your condition was as a man, but yeah, like giving people guns. I haven't seen a reporter. I heard that the reporter was like, what about the criminals in Ukraine receiving the guns? And I'm like, you getting like bombshells everywhere. You worried about criminals? I mean, of course, I think that would.
I don't know.
I think there's concern there.
Realistically, if you a criminal, bruh, all right, if I'm a criminal and I went to jail for robbing somebody, this war, if I can move, I'm not gonna stop robbing people. So, like, honestly, you saying that really, I don't know. I don't really agree with that because it's just like look. Don't give a convicted killer a gun, even in war. Okay, that's just my opinion on it. Don't give a convicted, bro.
I mean, you're gonna need.
It's trust. It's not even about, bro. It's trust. Like, us as humans are so.
Well, actually, let's be fair. Well, in that situation, like, if someone was convicted of a crime, like for murder or something.
Well, yeah, it depends. It depends on details.
Like, usually it's more like a direct crime. Like, they weren't killing just to kill. Like, they just felt the need to kill. Like, mostly it was probably someone they knew who they wanted to kill.
Do we know? Yeah. We don't know.
I mean, we're talking about war though. Like. I mean, but people are coming to take everything from you. You know what I mean?
Dude, if we have a war, you really think they're gonna be out fighting each other?
But let's be for real, honestly.
No,
I don't think like you should force criminals or not even regular people.
You shouldn't force no one to fight in the army.
In a war.
You shouldn't force anybody to fight in the army. That just want to be in the army.
Taking
military,
steps
any type of military
steps like to strive to world peace as much as possible. So. We should have our freedoms to not be able to join a war if we don't want to join a war.
Right.
So you're saying just pick up a Russian language book and lay down?
Basically.
Learn Russian. Bro. Sometimes is violence justified?
Are you fighting, or are you just going with the flow?
Is violence ever justified?
Yes. I mean, if Russia's invading your home, you gotta defend it. Mm-hmm. If somebody's even on a smaller scale breaking into your house,
I mean, I'm saying though,
you'd want to defend it.
You gotta look at it like this though. That violence wasn't justified though, but it's justified for mine, or no?
Ukraine's retaliation is justified.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
100%.
Russia, even the Russian soldiers, some of them, I would think that it's not like up to them. Like they don't, they're just taking orders and
they're just being told go in the field, bro.
But at the end of the day, like even if you are like getting your home invaded, like you are justified to retaliate and have you can't just sit down and just take it. You always gotta fight. Right. So
that's how I feel about
it. So hopefully, like with this whole situation, all we have to do is just hope and pray that cooler heads prevail, and we could get to some place where we don't have to be best friends, but at least there's understanding that hey, if we keep on having all this escalation, could be the end of the world. So.
But I'm gonna let you know though, if it does get to a point where it is full on war, missiles, all this stuff, bro, protect yourself, everybody.
Absolutely.
And that's I'm not encouraging anybody to just go out and be violent, but dude, you don't want your family to get hurt.
Absolutely.
What's your one weapon of choice? You getting a broomstick or you
my one weapon of choice in a war,
you
or
just got one single weapon?
What's the scenario?
It could be an atomic bomb.
An atomic bomb? I don't need no weapon. Nothing's gonna defend me against an atomic bomb.
One weapon.
One weapon in home invasion, or I'm going out on the field. Which one? Or they knock on my door yo, Russia here, slide with us, convert to
talking straight up war. Like straight up war. You gotta do what you gotta do. One weapon.
My one weapon, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't
of course, you could have probably more than
I one genuinely
that brisk iced teacup. You just smash it on with the Russian's face and bam.
Nah, bro. give me a Glock 4.59 millimeter, bro. Wait, it depends. Okay, that's for the home invasion. Let me stop. Not for the war. Not if I go out on a war, I want to give me a rocket launcher. Honestly, if I'm going to war,
oh Lord,
bro, give me because this is
y'all Call of Duty skills are gonna come in handy now.
Man, I'm about to be sliding, boy. dude, give me a health pack.
All right, Xavier. One weapon. World War.
You know, I'm gonna end it with this. If I have to come up with one weapon, you know, all you just need is one good brick. You just smash it over their heads, and bam, they dead.
Bruh, it just depends the situation. If you on a battlefield, that is not doing nothing. If we're on a battlefield of war, him throwing a brick at one person is nothing. You need something that's gonna hit a lot of people. That's what I'm saying. Forget the rocket launcher. This Fortnite, give me a quad launcher. Give me four of them joints right over here. Boom, 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 bro.
Let me just tell y'all, this is why we can't have a World War III. We the wrong generation.
We are. We are.
Honestly. So,
bro, and it's social media, so all the hideout spots finna get, bro. He finna post it on his Instagram story. Russia watching all our snaps, all our Twitter, all our posts, all that, bro.
Yeah, somebody, you know what's gonna mess us up if we get in World War?
What?
This generation. We just gonna post everything. So
that's what I'm saying, bro. So Russia gonna have to drop on us.
So we're gonna be like, we're gonna meet up here on TikTok, and then this is the weapons we got. They're gonna be waiting for us.
You know, at the end of the day, like I said, we just gotta hope and pray for the best. So we about to wrap up. Any last words y'all wanna hit?
I just want to say, y'all, we want to do an episode where we can like talk directly to y'all. So send in anything you want us to talk about, any advice you want. If you're getting bullied at school and you want to know how to deal with it, anything like that, hit us up. You know, but it's Joe, my boy Dorian, my boy Xavier. It's the Ross podcast in the city, Buff City Central. No, I messed it up. The hardest podcast. We the hardest podcast in the city, Buff City Central, man. We'll be back real soon. See y'all next time.